Hi, my name's Simon and I'm going into my third year reading for a master's degree in physics from St Peter's College, Oxford. I've been running this YouTube channel now for about a year, answering people's questions about applications to Oxford and Cambridge, interview questions, stuff like that. This video is a compilation video of frequently asked questions. I've done one of these before and you can find that here, but before I go into the actual questions people have been asking me, I'm going to give one piece of advice that I'm going to refer back to throughout this entire video, and that is check the department website and the university website. It seems like most of the people that contact me haven't done that, and pretty much all of their questions can be answered by just having a quick look through, particularly the department website, but the university website is also really useful. By far and away the most commonly asked question that I had was, I've got these results, I do this in my spare time, I'm predicted to get this, am I good enough to get in? Will I get an interview? And everybody's different, every case is different, and there's no easy answer to this kind of question. When people ask me this, I've been using a couple of simple criteria. 1. At GCSE, do you have 4 or 5 A stars and less than 1 or 2 Bs? 2. Are you predicted to get all A's at A level, maybe with an A star? If you're doing 4 or 5 subjects and if you get 1 B predicted, not a big deal. 3. Are you doing the relevant A levels for your university subject? Best way to check that is check the website. This is actually a really commonly asked question, so I'm going to link to that particular webpage down below. Now remember that these criteria are really rough rules. If you are just on the outlier of one of those, then it's not something to really stress about. The important ones are the A levels, because universities base their offers on A levels. GCSEs will be looked at, but not as much, nowhere near as much as A levels. You need to be realistically getting all A's with an A star. Like I say, if you get predicted a B in one of your subjects, provided that you're doing 4 or 5 A levels, it's not such a big deal, because offers are made on only 3 A levels. That said, it will still count against you, but nowhere near as much as most people seem to think. Remember, you don't have to be a demigod in order to get an interview offer, or dare I say it, a place. People like me get in, I'm completely normal, apart from making YouTube videos. When you get to Oxford or Cambridge, you realise that the people there aren't different. They are just normal people. They're exactly like you. I mean, yeah, they're more intelligent than average, they've got better results than average, sure. But they're not set apart, they're not that different. The only reason they got in is because they did well in their exams, and that's something that anyone can do. I managed to get in, and I went to a state school. I did alright. I wasn't best in my year at A levels. I did well in my exams, and I did a couple of things on the side, and I got in. Because I'm a physicist, I had a lot of people asking me one question about physics, which I'm going to cover really briefly, which was that, do I need further maths in order to do the physics degree? You don't need it 100% to do it, but you need it maybe 95%. It's not a listed requirement. On the website it doesn't say you have to have it, but you're a much weaker applicant if you don't have it, and you'll be at a disadvantage in first year. Lots of people get in who haven't done further maths, but they are at a disadvantage. That said, pretty much all of first term is spent getting people who haven't done further maths up to speed. So you're doing an A-level in 8 weeks, which is pretty tough going. If your school doesn't offer further maths, then you might want to look into the Further Maths Network, which I'll put a link to down below. If you can do further maths, I'd really recommend you do, and I'd really recommend that you do the mechanics modules. I've had quite a lot of contact from international students who have asked one question in particular, which is, does Oxford or Cambridge recognise my qualifications from the USA, Malaysia, whatever? What do I need in those qualifications to get in? Answer, check the website. I'll put a link to this one down below because it is really frequently asked. I can't go through all of them here, so just check the web. Also, international students have been asking, do I have to come to Oxford or Cambridge for my interview? Answer is kind of yes, but not really. Really, you really should try and come. Like, it's not just important for the interview to give an impression of yourself, but it's also important just to see the city and make sure that you are going to be comfortable living there. If you absolutely can't make it, then there are schemes to do interviews via Skype or down the phone. I'll put a link to that down below as well. One question that I got asked a lot was, what did I get in my exam results? I don't really feel too comfortable talking about it at length, so I'm just going to flash them up on the screen now. You can pause if you're interested. So that's what I got. One thing that came up surprisingly commonly was people asking, is Cambridge better than Oxford, or vice versa? It's an impossible question to answer, not least because I'm clearly biased, but because it's impossible to compare them. They're just different. On a subject-to-subject basis, you can have ranking tables that would tell you that one university will have better research than the other, that one might have more famous professors than the other, but the courses will vary massively from subject to subject. An objective comparison of the two doesn't really have any meaning. To take me as an example, I went to Oxford because I wanted to do a physics degree, whereas at Cambridge I'd have to do a natural sciences degree where I'd pick and choose from all the different sciences. I knew that I only wanted to do physics, so I went to Oxford. Even though Cambridge has the better department, Oxford has the better physics degree. It's a personal choice. No one is better than the other. One might suit some people more than the other. Cambridge is a market town, and it definitely has a quieter feel to it, whereas Oxford is a city. It's much bigger, and it feels like there's much more going on all at once. That might suit some people, it might not. It's a personal choice. Lastly, I had a fair few emails from people saying, oh, I've got perfect in everything, but I've got a B in one module. Is this going to mean I can't get in? No. You've got to look at this from a different perspective. It's so easy when you're gunning for something like entrance to a really prestigious university to just look at it from your perspective and you get really caught up in it. But you have to keep things in perspective. 1B in one module, in one subject, isn't going to change diddly squat. Sure, if you're doing 3 A-levels, one of them's history, and you get a B, maybe a C in one of the modules, and you want to do history at Oxford, maybe that does count for a bit more. But as long as it's not in the subject that you're really gunning for, like for me, physics, then it's not really going to count for much at all. Don't panic. Much better than just obsessing over what's happened in the past is to keep moving forwards and make sure that you're trying as hard as possible to get A's in everything. If you keep looking back, you're never going to move forwards. And I think that's about it. If there's a question that isn't covered in this video or any of the other ones on this channel, please feel free to either leave a comment on here or a comment on my channel or message me. I will try my hardest to get back to every single person. It may take a little while during term time because, well, I let them build up. I let 5 or 6 build up in my inbox and then reply to them all in an evening. So if I don't reply to you in a couple of days, it's not that I don't care, it's just I've been a bit busy. So good luck to anyone who's applying. Good luck if you've got an interview. And hopefully I'll have a bit more content to upload on this channel quite soon. So, thanks.